Hi guys, Love at Scout 1 again. I'm just uploading some videos at the moment, so what I thought I'd do is I would just go through some of the optics that are used in stalking. I know a lot of you have interest in shooting or have been around guns. I know some of you don't. I know some of you, this might not be of any interest to you at all. So I do apologise if I'm pitching to convert again. I do apologise again. The sort of breaking it down to three categories. We've got rangefinders, we've got draw tube telescopes, and we've got binoculars. First thing I'll cover is the rangefinder. This is a laser rangefinder. It's made by Nikon or Nikon, depending on which part of the world you come from. Basically, what it is you switch it on by pressing that button at the top there, and it fires a laser beam out at the target. It's got a crosshair, digital crosshair in the screen, and it fires a laser beam out, and basically what the computer does is it generates a distance from the time it takes that laser beam to exit this lens, hit the target, and bounce back into this big objective lens here. I know Leica make a very good one, Bushnell make a very good one. I think Leupold make a very good one as well. I've not had a hands on that, but I think I've seen one. This one is very small. It's compact. It's easy to use, and I've used this for. I think I've had this about 6-7 years. It's on the same set of batteries, but they're ideal for getting an accurate range when you're setting targets up, when you're setting range estimation down rides, when you're setting a high seat. Our American colleagues use these a lot when they're bow hunting for estimating range, or putting range pins out when they're hunting white-tailed deer, or doing a bow stalk from a blind or from a hide, what we'd call a hide. Excellent bit of kit. It doesn't take any room up at all. Comes on a decent lanyard, and it's got a nice sort of leatherette case with it. I think when I bought this it was about 140 quid. I got it from Huttings in Norfolk, but it's been really good. I can't fault it. Like I say, it's on the same set of batteries. Saves a lot of time and a lot of energy when you are when you're trying to set up targets to zero rifles, which is where it comes into its own. The next thing I want to cover is the draw tube telescope. Now, I don't know if any of you have come across draw tube telescopes. This is the one that I use. It's a German one. It comes in a nice leather tube, like a cylinder, with a decent leather strap so you can carry it. Most of the hill stalkers will have a draw tube telescope, and a lot of them favour the old style 3 draw, which means you pull it out 3 times or 4 times, and they're generally made by a company called Gray's in Scotland. They have made telescopes for a long number of years, and it's sort of the benchmark scope to buy. I have seen a Swarovski spotting telescope, which looks a really nice piece of kit. It's very similar looking to that, which is, that's a Yukon. It's a small one. It's got a 50mm objective lens, rubber armour coated. It's very light, not really suitable for purpose at all, for my purpose anyway, but good for if you wanted to do some bird watching, or spying the lay of the land, I suppose, but not suitable for hill stalking really. I did look at buying a Gray's telescope and saved my money up, and I went to have a look at one. Well, I knew a lad that was selling one, so I went to have a look at it, and for what it was, I couldn't see 1200 quid in it really. So back to the drawing board, went to the online auction site that we all know, and I managed to pick this one up for about 100 quid. It's a German one. It's a Hertel and Rouse. It's got a 60mm objective lens, which you can see there. It's got a nice sun shield. It's only a single draw, but it's got the advantage of a zoom eyepiece, which for the amount of time I spend on the hill, and for the amount of time I spend hill stalking, it was enough to spend. The optics are absolutely fantastic, as most German optics are, and I like it, and it's been a companion on many stalks, but it is also a nice thing to sort of have. My son uses it a little bit to watch watch the game birds across the other side of the valley. We can see them out of the back at the back of the house. And you know, we have used it when, you know, there's been things happening up in space, and looking at star constellations and stuff, and it, you know, mounted on a tripod, it's been really good for that. The biggest expense apart from your rifle and your scope when you start out stalking are going to be binoculars. These are the ones that I'm using and I have used for the last 18 months, 2 years. These are made by a company called Leupold in America. These are the Leupold Tactical. The American military use these, and they are tactical because they've got a mil-dot reticle in this objective. And what that is really, for those of you that aren't know, because I realise some of you aren't, basically all that is like a telescopic sight crosshair with graduated dots, and those dots allow you to estimate range if you know what you're doing. I did save up the money, and I was going to go and buy some Swarovski binoculars. I went up to York Guns, you know, was about to pay me 1200 odd quid, I think they were. And I got talking to the salesman for Leupold who was there, and he said, look, I'm not trying to dissuade you, you know, just have a look at these and see what you think. And to be honest with you, I couldn't really see a great deal of difference, and outside of spending 1200 quid, and these were on offer at 300 with the benefit of the mil-dot reticle in this objective, and the Swarovskis are 10x42. These are 10x50. What that means is it's got a 10 times zoom lens on the eye, and then it's got an objective of 50mm. Well, the Swarovskis only have 42mm. That's a difference in 8mm. So I've got a difference of 8mm, which gives me approximately 10-15 minutes at dawn and 10-15 minutes at dusk, which gives me a little bit of time to, you know, extra to spend outside, you know, viewing what I'm hoping to see that's going to come past the high seat. These have been brilliant. They've been dropped out of high seats, they've been dropped in a river, they've been dropped in a burn in Scotland. They got covered in mud, and all I did really was just cover the lenses and hose them off, let them dry out. There was no misting, no fogging. Come in a fantastic Molly compatible case, which is really well padded, got a nice neck strap on it, you know, loads of loops. It's got the Molly clips on the back should you want to fasten it to a Molly rig or a Molly military rucksack. It's got a pocket there for a range card. I've got a little pocket compass in mine, but these, for the money, have been absolutely faultless. I can't fault them at all. The service I got from York Guns was excellent. You know, the guy wasn't pushy at all. York Guns is a really good place to go if you know, I'm not sponsored by them at all, so don't start thinking that. But if you ever get a chance to go in there, if you're in that neck of the woods, go in. It doesn't look as though it's going to be a big shop, and it's a bit like a TARDIS when you get in there. They've all kinds of, you know, showcases and stuff, but a really good place, well worth a visit if you're in the north. They've got some really good kit, and the guys who sell the kit there are really knowledgeable. I've really enjoyed the experience of shopping there a few times. One of the good things about these binoculars is you can take the Leupold badge out there. I've screwed it in a bit tight. But what you can do is you can unscrew that and screw an adapter in to go on your tripod, so you've got really steady view. Like I said, these are going to be, your binoculars are going to be one of the biggest things that you're going to pay for outside of your rifle and your scope. The rule of thumb when you're buying a stalking rifle for the first time, or any time really, as the rule of thumb, like I said, is you spend as much, or if not more, on the glass on top of your rifle as you do. You spend just as much or as more on your glass on your rifle than you would spend on your rifle itself. And I suppose that does come into it when some lads are shooting, you know, say a CZ rifle, which is what I shoot, at maybe £700-800, and then they're buying a Swarovski scope or a Night Force scope to stick on top of it, and they're into sort of, you know, 1700-1800 quid's worth. I've always been a fan of European scopes, and I shoot a lot on a lot of guns that I have. I shoot PK, which were made, which well, they are made in Berlin. I don't think the company's going now, but the only thing with them, the early ones, are a 26mm tube, where usually it's either an inch or 30mm. So you've got to get rings machined out. This last set I took into work and had one of my friends who's got a machine centre to machine them out for me. But we'll go on to rifle scopes in another video. What I will do is I'll post the video up of my stalking rifle. That's got a myoptoscope on. And we'll discuss scopes and their benefits and stuff in another video. So guys, I hope that's sort of cleaned up some of the bits of myth and mythology over stalking scopes. I know it can get a bit deep, but I hope that's of some interest for you. Thank you very much for your positive comments that I've had. Thank you very much for your subscriptions, guys who've subscribed to the channel. I'm going to be putting some more stuff up, so I hope to get some feedback from y'all soon. So y'all take care. Alright, cheers, bye bye.